Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
How are you all?
Fine, ma'am. Ma'am, how are you?
I'm also fine, beta. So, all of you had your lunch?
Yes, ma'am.
So, what are the different items you have eaten during your lunch? Yes, Arvita, what have you eaten? Potato. Okay, then rice. Lady finger. Okay. Then you have eaten different variety of food items, right? Can anybody tell me that why do we eat food?
Ma'am.
Yes, Anamika? Yes, because you have to get energy. Then from where that energy comes? Yes, Divya? From food. Okay. So yes, we all know that we get energy from food that we eat. Then how do we get energy from food? Can anybody tell me? Yes, Manat?
Ma'am, the food is broken down into a carbohydrate named as glucose, which absorbs in our body and gives energy.
Okay. Good. Sit down. So that we have already discussed that whenever we eat food, it gets into our digestive tract and then it gets broken into smaller pieces and various enzymes act on it and you will be getting some kind of energy from it, right? So that energy is very important for the growth and development of a human being. Our body consists of various cells, right? So our body, it has different kinds of cells and each cell requires energy to perform various functions, right? Then from where do we get these energy so that these cells can become functional? From obviously we get energy from food only, right? But how this process goes on of energy getting, right? Can anybody tell me? No. Okay. So today we will be studying about this process only. How do we get energy from food, right? So this process is known as respiration. Have you heard about the term respiration earlier? Okay. Can anybody tell me what is respiration then? Yes, beta?
How we breathe and the way in which we breathe is known as respiration.
Okay, good. Respiration. You are telling that the way how we breathe is called respiration. Then, have you heard about the term breathing?
Yes, ma'am.
Then, what is breathing? Yes, Master?
Ma'am, the inhalation and exhalation of air in our body is called as breathing.
Okay, sit down. Right. The inhalation and exhalation of air into our body, that is known as breathing. Then you are saying that respiration is also same and breathing is also same. So both the terms are similar only they are different.
Ma'am,
Different. Different. Yes, obviously they are different. Then is there any difference between breathing and respiration?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, there is a difference. Firstly, I'll let you know what respiration is. Okay, so listen carefully. Respiration is a process by which food gets broken down into smaller pieces and that smaller pieces gets converted into energy in the presence of oxygen. So this is called respiration and more probably we can say cellular respiration. And why the term cellular is used here? Because this process occurs inside the cell. Inside each and every cell of our body, this process goes on. That's why this process is known as cellular respiration. So, respiration, again you can listen carefully, it is a process by which food gets broken down to produce energy in the presence of oxygen. This is called respiration. Okay. Then breathing. Breathing is actually a part of respiration, right? Through breathing only we are getting in oxygen. So breathing is a process by which we get air in, we take in air into our body and we give out air again in the that is rich in carbon dioxide from our body. So breathing is actually a process by which we intake air that is rich in oxygen and we give out air that is rich in carbon dioxide. This process is known as breathing. So So here is a difference that breathing is actually part of respiration, and breathing also consists of two parts, or you can say two processes, not two parts. More probably we will say that breathing consists of two processes. First one, the process by which we intake air from the atmosphere into our body. That is known as, this process is known as inhalation, right? The process by which we intake air into our body is known as inhalation, and the process by which we give out air, our body gives out air that is rich in carbon dioxide, is known as exhalation. Both inhalation and exhalation together makes breathing, right? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Am I clear, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then you have to watch this video and you will be more clear regarding this cellular respiration.
Our body needs energy in order to function and to create new cells needed for growth and development.
Yes, energy. Our body requires energy for growth, development, and repair of different cells. Because the body consists of many different cells, and some cells are in growing stage. They require energy for their growth and development. Some cells want to reproduce, so that's why they want energy. And some cells become damaged. Okay, some cells become damaged, and to repair that damaged cells, our body or our cells require energy. Okay.
We get this energy from the food we eat as a result of the process of cellular respiration. Cellular respiration is carried out by every cell in both plants and animals.
Right. This cellular respiration, I have already explained that why we use cellular respiration, because this respiration occurs inside the cells of our body. Each and every cell undergoes this process of cellular respiration. Not only animals but plants also do cellular respiration. They do perform cellular respiration.
And is essential for life. When we eat, the nutrients in food are broken down into glucose during the digestive process.
Yes, whenever we eat food items, all that food items, they pass through our digestive system and they get broken into glucose, and that glucose finally gets broken down in the presence of oxygen to produce energy. This is how what we will be studying during this class.
This glucose is transported in the blood to the cells where it is needed.
So you can see here, these are the food particles, right? So here is your food particle, right? Whenever we eat only small bites, and that bites they pass through our digestive tract and they get finally broken down to produce glucose. Glucose is a form of sugar. You already know that, we have studied earlier regarding it. Okay, so this glucose further moves into blood, right? It further moves into blood, and from blood it moves into different cells of our body, and when this glucose reaches to the cells of our body, each and every cell requires glucose, and that glucose molecule will get broken down in the presence of oxygen or in the absence of oxygen. That we will study how it gets broken down to produce some kind of energy, and this process is known as respiration. Okay.
Oxygen is transported by the blood to the cells in the body.
Yes. Now you can see here. Through the bloodstream, glucose is also passing and it does reach the cell, and through the bloodstream also oxygen gets into the cell. Both oxygen and glucose molecule will reach into the cell, and inside the cell, what are the different processes that will occur to break down glucose and release energy? This is called what? Respiration, right?
Inside each cell, glucose is oxidized to release energy.
Yes. So glucose gets broken down to produce energy, and energy is produced in the form of ATP, that is adenosine triphosphate. ATP, right? In the form of ATP, the energy is being produced. So you can see here the full form of ATP, adenosine triphosphate. It is the form in which the energy is stored and transported within a cell. So glucose produces energy in the form of ATP molecules, and whenever our body requires, or any cell of our body requires energy, these ATP molecules will move there and they will provide the sufficient energy.
Of breaking down glucose in the presence of oxygen to release energy is called aerobic respiration.
So, respiration is also of two types. First one is aerobic respiration and second one is anaerobic respiration. Now, what is the difference between these two types of respiration? First, we will be studying about aerobic respiration, right? Aerobic respiration is a type of respiration in which glucose gets broken down to produce energy, but in the presence of oxygen. In the presence of oxygen, when glucose gets broken down to produce energy in the form of ATP molecules, this process is known as aerobic respiration. And when glucose gets broken down without oxygen to produce energy, that process is known as anaerobic respiration. We will be studying about in this video itself. So you all of you just watch this video.
Carbon dioxide and water are also released as byproducts during this process.
Yes. So you can look here, carbon dioxide molecules and water molecules are also released during this process. But they are not the main components, that's why they are known as byproducts. During this process, main product is our energy, because our body requires energy. So energy, we are getting energy in the form of ATP molecules. Along with energy, we are getting carbon dioxide molecules and some water molecules as well. So they are known as byproducts, right? So here is the chemical equation of aerobic respiration. So you can have a look here. Glucose plus oxygen, right? Glucose, it means glucose in the presence of oxygen. It gets broken down and produces what? Carbon dioxide, water and energy molecules. This process is known as aerobic respiration. Type of respiration that occurs in the presence of oxygen is called aerobic respiration. So you can look at here, this is the formula for glucose, C6H12 and O6. 6 times carbon molecules, 6 in number, it means 6 carbon molecules, then 12 hydrogen molecules and 6 oxygen molecules. They do combine to form glucose. This is the, you can say, chemical formula for glucose. Glucose in the presence of oxygen gets broken down to produce carbon dioxide. But how many molecules of carbon dioxide are produced? 6 molecules of carbon dioxide, 6 molecules of water and energy molecules in the form of ATP. Right?
In some yeasts and bacteria, the breakdown of glucose takes place in the absence of oxygen. This is known as anaerobic respiration. Anaerobic respiration is not as efficient as aerobic respiration. That's because glucose does not break down completely in the absence of oxygen.
So you can look here, anaerobic respiration, right? Anaerobic respiration, in anaerobic respiration what will happen? Glucose molecule will get broken down. It will also produce energy, but in the absence of oxygen. No oxygen molecule is there. Okay? In the anaerobic respiration. Glucose molecule in the absence of oxygen. Right? What it will produce? Carbon dioxide molecules, then alcohol, right? Alcohol, and what energy is also being produced, but that energy is very less in amount as compared to aerobic respiration. So you can say that aerobic respiration produces more energy as compared to anaerobic respiration. Okay?
So, less energy is released.
So you can also see one more thing. During anaerobic respiration, alcohol is also being produced, but no such product is produced during aerobic respiration. What does it signify or what does it mean? It means that glucose doesn't completely broken down to produce energy. But in aerobic respiration, you can see only simple molecules are being produced like carbon dioxide, water, and more energy is being produced. So you can say that during anaerobic respiration, glucose doesn't break completely. So less energy is being produced. But in case of aerobic respiration, you can say that glucose gets completely broken down in the presence of oxygen and it will produce more energy.
Start.
Fermentation is a type of anaerobic respiration in which one of the products of the reaction is alcohol.
So you can see here, glucose, when there is glucose in the absence of oxygen, it is producing carbon dioxide, alcohol, and less amount of energy is being produced. This type of respiration is also known as fermentation. It is also known as
Fermentation.
And you know that alcohol that is utilized in various products. Okay. Then you can see your wine barrel for fermentation. This is a barrel where fermentation occurs, and this is a process by which wine is prepared. So you can see here, this is a process. Fermentation is a process actually that occurs without oxygen, right? So yes, yeast is used in bread making to produce bubbles of carbon dioxide gas, which gets trapped in the dough and make it rise. All of you have eaten baturas and you have prepared cake and different delicious cakes also. Then this process of fermentation occurs in them also. Okay, so you have to remember it.
Burnt up quickly.
Well, that I have already informed you that anaerobic respiration is also of two types. First one is fermentation and second one is lactic acid fermentation, or you can say lactic acid respiration. Then glucose gets broken down in the absence of oxygen to produce energy and lactic acid. This type of respiration is also anaerobic respiration. And whenever you are doing heavy exercise, your legs get aches too much. Why? Because of accumulation of lactic acid during the time of heavy exercise. Because at that time this type of respiration, that is anaerobic respiration, is occurring in your legs. Okay. So we'll have. So students, now we will be watching one more video regarding respiration.
Carbon dioxide and respiration
Go.
is taken in and then utilized to produce energy in the cells. The byproduct of respiration is carbon dioxide. Using two simple experiments, we can see that carbon dioxide is released during respiration in both seeds and humans.
So you can see that this is an activity that will explain you that respiration occurs in both plants as well as in animals.
In our first experiment, we used germinating seeds because they respire and grow. We need a conical flask, a beaker, a cork stopper with a hole, a glass tube bent at right angles at two places, a small test tube, potassium hydroxide solution, several inches of thread, and water with a few drops of food coloring added. Place some germinating seeds in the conical flask.
So firstly what we have to do, we have to take a conical flask, and what we have to do, we have to make germinating seeds. Okay, and then we have to put that germinating seeds into the conical flask.
Tie a thread to the test tube containing potassium hydroxide solution.
Okay, then this is your test tube, and inside that test tube is a solution of potassium hydroxide solution will be there. Then see what will happen then.
And hang it inside the conical flask. Then fill the flask with a cork.
Then what you have to do, you have to take that test tube and put it inside that conical flask using a thread, and then you have to use stopper, or that is made of cork, to stop the bottles.
Insert the short end of the bent tube into the cork and the long end into a beaker filled with color.
But then you have to take this tube, U-shaped tube, and insert into the solution that is already prepared.
With water. Make sure the tube is immersed in the water. You'll notice the colored water rises into the bent glass.
So you can see here the color of water. You have to note down the change in color, right? Firstly, you can see the change color of the solution, right? Then what will happen afterwards?
Tube. Note the level of water. Leave the setup undisturbed for at least an hour and then note the increased water level.
You have to keep this setup for 1 hour. Okay, till 1 hour you have to keep all this setup without any disturbance. Now see what will happen.
The bent tube. As the germinating seeds respire, they use up oxygen in the conical flask and release carbon dioxide. The potassium.
Okay, so these seeds are germinating. It means these are germinating seeds. So during the process of respiration, what they will do? They will use oxygen and it gives out carbon dioxide. So the oxygen present inside this conical flask is being utilized by the germinating seeds, and they will use that oxygen and perform respiration, and they will produce carbon dioxide as byproduct. Then see what will happen then.
Hydroxide solution in the test tube will absorb carbon dioxide, creating a partial vacuum in the flask. This vacuum will pull up the air from the bent tube along with the colored water.
So this carbon dioxide molecules will also enter into this small test tube, and then you can see here, so that there is a vacuum that is created. Vacuum means ambient space that is created inside this conical flask.
Causing the water to rise up. Now let's see how carbon dioxide is released from humans. For this, we need a test tube, a straw, and lime water with
What we have taken a test tube, straw and lime water. Now we perform a see and activity, okay?
just calcium hydroxide solution. Fill a test tube with the lime water.
So what we have done, you have taken a test tube and we have to fill this test tube with calcium hydroxide solution. Then what will happen?
and blow air into it through a straw. Notice how the bubbles of exhaled air turn the water from
Then you have to blow the air using that straw, and whenever that air enters into this solution, you can observe small bubbles are created in this solution.
the appearance. This is because carbon dioxide reacts with calcium hydroxide and forms calcium carbonate, which is milky.
So, then after that, what you will see after some time, the solution color changes into milky white color. That is because calcium carbonate is formed, and that is white, or you can say milky in color. That's why the solution turns milky as well.
This experiment shows that carbon dioxide is released during respiration.
So what does this activity prove? This activity proves that carbon dioxide is being released during the process of respiration. Okay?
Summary. Respiration is a biological process during which oxygen is taken in and carbon dioxide.
So you can see here, respiration is a biological process. At that time, oxygen is taken in and carbon dioxide is released out. Okay?
Is released.
Go.
So I think now it is clear that what is respiration. So let us recall this topic again. So I will be asking you some questions and then you have to answer these questions. So my first question is, define respiration. Can anybody tell me what is respiration? Raise your hands. Yes, Amantika, tell me what is.
Respiration is the process in which our body derives energy from the foods we consume.
Yes, very nice answer. Okay, sit down. Yes, it is also a process. You can say respiration is a process by which we obtain energy by obtaining food. So can anybody else can explain me that the definition of cellular respiration? What do you mean by cellular respiration? Yes, ma'am.
The respiration occur with the help of with the presence of oxygen is called cellular respiration.
Okay, sit down. Manat, can you explain what do you mean by cellular respiration?
Yes, ma'am. The respiration which takes place in the cells of our body is cellular respiration.
Yes, sit down. The respiration that occurs in our body cells, you can say most probably in the presence or the absence of oxygen, it is known as cellular respiration. Then we have discussed different types of respiration. Can anybody tell me what do you mean by aerobic respiration? Yes, Arjun, tell me what do you mean by aerobic respiration?
In which oxygen?
What oxygen? Oxygen takes place. Very nice. This is how you are understanding. Amantika, you answer.
And the breakdown of glucose occurs in the presence of oxygen to release energy.
Good, sit down. It is a type of respiration in which the breakdown of glucose occurs in the presence of oxygen. This type of respiration is known as aerobic respiration. Then we will move towards anaerobic respiration. Can anybody tell me what do you mean by anaerobic respiration? Yes, Beta, tell me.
Anaerobic respiration is a form of respiration in which oxygen doesn't take place, it occurs in the absence of oxygen.
Yes, it is a type of respiration which occurs in the absence of oxygen. And this anaerobic respiration is of further two types, that is lactic acid fermentation and the fermentation. And in fermentation, which type of liquid is produced? Alcohol. And in lactic acid fermentation, lactic acid is produced. Okay. Then can anybody tell me which type of respiration produces more energy, aerobic or anaerobic respiration? Ma'am? Yes, Viraj.
Anaerobic.
Anaerobic respiration, what does it produce? More energy or less?
Can I say
More.
Anaerobic respiration produces more energy.
I'm sorry, ma'am. Aerobic respiration.
Wait, sit down. Please tell me, Arvind.
anaerobic respiration gives us less energy and aerobic respiration gives us more energy.
Yes, aerobic respiration provides you more energy as compared to anaerobic all of you have to study this topic very well. And tomorrow we'll revise this topic again and I'll be asking you questions more. So thank you and have a wonderful day.
Thank you, ma'am.